let's get started. Welcome everybody to another Thursday night Kiwanis night. So tonight is going to be on membership success story with methods to increase membership. So we have Miranda Burton from the Kiwanis Club of Philipsburg, which is Division 11 West. And Miranda just got elected to be the Region 3 trustee. So she will be starting this in October. So Miranda, when you're ready, you may go.
Okay, thank you so much, Tiffany. A little bit, let me go back. A little bit about my Kiwanis background. I joined Kiwanis in 2013, and our leadership positions are 2-year positions. So I've been vice president, president-elect, and now president for 2 years. Lieutenant governor, I've also been lieutenant governor during that time this past year. So it's been very busy. Zoom definitely is a silver lining in helping to balance it all out. And then, as Tiffany said, I will begin my Region 3 trustee duties October 1st. So a little bit about Philipsburg Club. We are 97 years young. We will be 98 years October 29th of this year. We are, the easiest way to describe or define our club, we are 24 miles from Penn State University. So if you find Penn State on a map, we are 24 miles from Penn State. We are comprised of many small towns. So it's not just the Philipsburg Kiwanis Club. For example, I live in Osceola Mills, very small town, but we actually have about 5 or 6 different towns in which we have different members from. We definitely have a diverse age group. We have members from in our 30s up to our oldest member, which is 86 years young. Our inter-club record, we just celebrated our 804th consecutive inter-club. And it was, it's definitely an honor for us. I actually was talking to the executive director of Kiwanis International, and he believes that is actually a record for us. So, interclubs are a big part of and we are passionate about projects and helping others. So from the very beginning, 2020 started like any other Kiwanis year, as you all know. Sadly, we know the next part of that chapter, and it was not a happy one. Pandemic, lockdowns, and loss of fellowship. Kiwanis is all about fellowship, and that was one of the biggest things with all of the lockdowns, not being able to meet in person. That's one of the biggest things we lost in Kiwanis. So how does a club grow membership during a global pandemic? Good question. So before the pandemic, in-person meetings.
Well, first we're going to do a poll.
Tiffany,
yeah.
About that one. That's all right. Okay, so yeah, Stephanie, so the poll we have, basically it's just a basic poll. How many new members has your club brought in during the past year? So it's just a basic poll. Just go ahead and answer, and Tiffany will be monitoring that. Tiffany, do you end that or do I?
I'll end it.
Okay.
So give it a couple more seconds for everyone to answer it. Okay. So here are the results. Can you see that?
Okay, yes. So basically, we have 0 at 15% for 0 members, 85% from 1 to 5, 0% for 6 to 10, and 0 for 11 plus. Okay. Let's close that out. All right. Thank you for those input. Now, before the pandemic, we did in-person meetings. We did fellowship. Like I said, big part of Kiwanis. Hands-on projects and service. We were able to get out in the community. We were able to meet with people. In-person social gatherings. Kiwanis is not just about meetings. It's about mixers. It's about getting together. Clubs, having meetings and social gatherings in the evenings and on weekends, and meeting one-on-one to meet the needs of the communities. Sure. There we go. Okay, during the pandemic, we did things the COVID way, lockdowns. We did virtual meetings, phone calls, emails, socially distanced events, virtual activities, and newsletters to be able to keep in touch with members. So where to start? Okay, so I envision my club as a Lego, and I would think that, you could, Legos, think about it when you were a kid, that Legos are building blocks. So each member and prospective member is a Lego. So think about how each Lego is unique and what they bring or could bring to your club. How can each Lego strengthen your club? Each person has their own set of unique strengths and weaknesses. So if you find those strengths within each person, you can definitely build upon that. Each Kiwanis club has a unique set of Legos that once put together can strengthen, grow, and build a stronger club. And I apologize, I thought I removed that R, but apparently it did not stay as it removed. Okay, so I think, a lot of times in Kiwanis, we look at the Skittles examples. You take different bags of Skittles and stuff, and there's different colors of Skittles. Well, in our club, I look at Legos. So, for example, you invite different people to your club. Red could be someone you attended high school or college with. Orange could be someone from your church or some other civic organization. Yellow could be someone from your neighborhood. Blue could be someone you've served with as a volunteer, because Kiwanis is all about volunteering. So if you find that like-minded individual, you're also able to, probably recruit them much quicker in community Kiwanis if they have that same vision. So brown could be someone you work with as a colleague, and green could be someone with whom you do a business with, small business or large business. Definitely. Setting a membership committee is very important. Sorry. Okay, so does your club have a membership chair and a committee? So go ahead and give you some time to answer that question.
All right, we're gonna end the poll and I'll share the results.
Okay, so 62% says yes, we have both, and 38% says no. Okay, so definitely, setting goals to increase membership is one of the biggest reasons to have a membership committee. Not only to increase having new membership, but also to retain existing membership. So think about it. You want to have committees that have diverse age ranges, and you don't want to forget about those existing members, because they're just as important to your club, especially in recruiting prospective new members. Invite prospective members to online meetings. Somebody that's an existing member, invite somebody in your community and say, hey, we're having a Zoom meeting. Can you come and hop on? Explore options in your community. Look at all the different possibilities in your community, and reach out to members you have not heard from. I know during the pandemic, it has definitely been for our club, not only our existing members, but the 11 new members that we brought in. We definitely made sure that we reached out to them to make sure that we were meeting their needs even during the pandemic. Not sure. There we go. Membership committee is formed. Now what? Do a club analysis. Like I said, find those gaps, find where your weaknesses are, find maybe where you need to grow as a club. Where are your gaps in membership? Do you need more younger people? Could you recruit? Some clubs do have a lot of younger members. So do you need to recruit maybe some retired people that, they're empty nesters, they're trying to find different things to keep them busy, their kids are growing, they're out of college. So now they're looking for volunteer opportunities. And like I said, find like-minded individuals, people that love volunteering. That's a great place to start. Local resources. So think about for us, our local revitalization corporation in downtown Philipsburg, we gained 4 new members from that corporation because those people were very interested in building the downtown area. And they were very enthusiastic about joining Kiwanis because this is something that they were very passionate about. Is your club mirroring your community? Every community, every Kiwanis club is unique. So definitely look at your community. What works for one club may not work for another club. So make sure that you are meeting your community needs. Some communities, they really, I know like in Tiffany's club, they have a great program with banners and stuff for the Wyoming club. So, for our club, we really focus on kids and helping communities. We're kind of a mixed organization, so mixed Kiwanis club. Discover opportunities. So like I said, once again, look at those opportunities. For us, we realize that we have gaps with some of the local businesses that we have in our community. So we're definitely looking at those gaps and trying to discover ways that we can partner up with those communities, with those businesses. And remember, it's not just about the growth, it's about the uniqueness of each member. So each member brings their own uniqueness to your club. So definitely, look at what you're missing. So let's start with the basic. Conduct a roster analysis. That's very important. Use a local directory. I know the old-fashioned phone book, that's something that kind of went by the wayside these days. But for us in the Philipsburg Club, we have what is known as the Shannon Valley Economic and Development Partnership. And we were able to use their local directory to look up different businesses and, community resources that we were missing in our Kiwanis Club. And we were looking and saying, well, this is even small businesses. We were missing a lot of those. Examples could be in your community, Chamber of Business, revitalization, banks, and other small businesses. Okay, so the roster analysis, this is a very, very important worksheet from Kiwanis International, because what it does, it provides a list of potential industries that could be represented in your club. And you could use this roster analysis worksheet as a reminder of individuals who would likely enjoy being part of your Kiwanis club and whose skills and relationships you could enrich your club's impact. So think about it. If you have a local bakery in town, it's a small little business, but maybe that baker would want to be part of your Kiwanis club. Let's say, a law firm that's in your town, maybe someone within that law firm could be a part of your community. So if you go and look up, here's the link, that link will take you to this roster analysis worksheet. And believe me, for our club, we use this and we are continuing to use this in our club to find those gaps and to find where we are missing membership. Also, don't forget your network, your neighbors. Think about our neighbors, colleagues, people you work with, friends, family, and retired individuals. Like I said, those empty nesters, they're looking for volunteer opportunities. Public relations, this is huge. For example, we just had a recent pancake breakfast. Oh, sorry, you got ahead of me. Thanks, Tiffany. Okay, so does your club use any of the following resources? We got to add some humor into this, we can't have a serious. Does your club use any of the following resources to boost membership? So you can check all that applies.
I'll give about like 10 more seconds. There's a few that still complete it. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so 36% says that you guys use a newsletter, 43% use newspaper, 29% flyers, 100% social media, and 57% website. Excellent. So yeah, so getting back to newspapers, you know, the old-fashioned newspaper, thankfully, is still alive and well. So in our community, we have two newspapers, a very local one and then a small little Philipsburg journal. So I was talking about our recent pancake breakfast. We actually serve usually around 300 to 320 pancake breakfasts at our breakfast every year. And this year we served 540 just because a little article was published on the front page of our local Philipsburg Journal newspaper. So imagine if you could do something like that with your membership. Imagine how that could recruit new members for your club. Posters, you know, the old-fashioned posters and flyers also is an excellent way to recruit new members. It is still a tried and true method, and we definitely have used it in our club. You can utilize local grocery stores, businesses, they can put a poster or a flyer in front of their window. Facebook is a great way to get out the word about an upcoming membership drive, or post pictures about what your club is doing. Talk about upcoming events, you know, post videos. People love to see photos and videos. They love to see action shots of what your club's doing. Twitter, Instagram. You know, Tiffany and Sarah, they did a presentation earlier in the month. You know, apparently Twitter and Instagram is geared towards your younger age group, but I'm sure other people have Twitter and Instagram. But like I said, these social media are great ways. And, you know, our club, now we do have a Facebook club, Facebook page, but we are going to update and get a Twitter and Instagram page. Oops, back. Okay, so create a club newspaper. This is something that our club did, and it's also a great way to increase membership because our existing members are sharing our club newspaper through email, through Facebook, and just handing them, you know, printing them out and giving them to people they know in the community. It's important in getting the word out. You send it off to prospective members. Highlight what your club's doing. Like I said, there's pictures, projects, upcoming programs that you have for your meetings, new member spotlight. Every month in our newsletter, we are spotlighting our new members so people learn more about them. And how is your club giving back? In the Philipsburg Club, we gave over $23,500 in this pandemic year. So, you know, people want to see that in the community because if you're trying to recruit members, you definitely want people to see what and how the Kiwanis Club is giving back to the community. So inviting prospective members. First of all, invite, you know, asking people is the best tried and true method of building, you know, building up your membership and building Kiwanis. Give them a purpose to come back. Think about it. In any organization, anything you belong to in your community, if you don't feel like you belong to that organization, do you want to come back? So you definitely want to make sure people want to come back. Follow up with them. If they come to your meeting, check with your member who brought that prospective member as a guest and, you know, follow up with them. See about them coming back to a future meeting or a service event. Share the newsletters, programs, and achievements of your club. And remind again. I'm constantly reminding my members, hey, you know, what about that member you brought a month ago as a guest? You know, have you followed up with them? And more importantly, have a fun meeting, you know, not to make everything serious, but have fun, you know, throw some trivia in there, do just basic activities for your members. One of the biggest things in recruiting new members is making your meetings fun. So ask your members for ideas. Find speakers both local and far away. We have local speakers from our revitalization. We're going to have a local speaker from our local theater coming up. And we also have speakers from far away as Florida, Kiwanis International, because members have asked me, to say, hey, you know, I have questions about Kiwanis. Can you bring in some speakers? So I've done that. Explore a variety of topics. You know, we have done everything from, like I said, local revitalization, talking about our community, to talking about other topics. So people like to see that. They like to see a variety of topics, especially when recruiting new members. Create a variety of activities. You know, when you're trying to recruit a new member, they like to keep things active. And one of the activities we did was we came up with, you pick a favorite activity, favorite item, and then you build upon that. Why did you join Kiwanis? And for your prospective members, you could ask them, why are you thinking of joining Kiwanis? So that is definitely a way to spark that conversation with all of your members during a meeting. Happy hour. We know it's hard to meet in person, so you could have a virtual happy hour for your meetings. And definitely be flexible with your meetings. Once in a while, throw in an evening meeting or a breakfast club meeting. A lot of times that helps to reach out to prospective members because it gets their schedule better. Engaging new members. So once you get new members, it's important to engage them because once again, we want them to feel that they belong to the club. So with our recent pancake breakfast with our new members, we actually had them buddy up with a lot of our existing members for existing members to show them how to do things and if they had questions. Invite them to service and fundraising projects. Make the things fun and informative as a new member orientation. So when you have a new member orientation, and whether you have it via Zoom or in person, try to make activities fun, but at the same time, new members have questions, you want existing members to be there and answer those questions. Ask new members to invite someone to a meeting or project. So just because they're a new member, tell them to bring a buddy along with them, and you'd be surprised how that can spark new member interest. Member survey for existing and new members. This is important for not just your new members, but your existing ones. Is your club doing right? What we need to work on, and follow up with members. So where is Philipsburg today? We have 54 members. We just came off of a record pancake breakfast. When I say record, we actually had 3 lanes of traffic for a drive-through. And our new members were fully engaged in that pancake breakfast. We are increasing our public relation. We're teaching our older members to Zoom. That has not been an easy task, but I have sat many hours, working with members, working with all members with Zoom. And we're constantly setting new goals and expanding our range. So, questions, Tiffany? I know, Tiffany, you're monitoring all that.
Yep. So if anyone has a question, you guys could unmute yourself, or if you want to just ask in the chat, I could monitor the chat. So far, there is nothing in the chat right now. And you have your hand raised, so you could just talk.
Yeah, it's a very useful presentation. Can I have the file, please?
Sure. Why don't you send the email? You can put it in the chat.
Sure.
And then we could get Miranda, if you want to just jot that down,
Sure.
and then you get email.
It is really a wonderful presentation and really useful. I'm gonna use that in my club. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Matt says, wonderful presentation, Miranda.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that. So, yeah, and I apologize if that went too fast for anybody. So if you do have any questions, please ask, I think sometimes on presentations, we're not always, we just keep moving around, so.
Do you have, is there an online source to get some of the poster material so that we could use it on our social media? I like that one about we're looking for new faces. That poster.
Let's see.
Really short.
I don't know where, Miranda, do you know where you got the clip art, I guess?
Oh, okay, that's just something that Sarah threw in, actually, our governor-elect put in. So some of that clip art.
I mean, that's a great poster.
That's probably what she means by that.
Yeah, I think it would
Okay,
look good
yes,
on
definitely. I
our
will find out.
Facebook page, you know, and we could also get some other organizations that our members
Absolutely.
belong to post it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, definitely, we could look into that, so no problem.
Okay, anybody else have anything?
Any other questions?
Miranda, and put her email in there, so if you want to jot that down, and you could send her the presentation.
Sure.
And also,
Yep. Let me
to
just
Sherry.
the chat.
Chuck says, thank you, Miranda. What would you say would be the best 2 things you did for the increase of membership in the Philipsburg Club?
I would say the 2 best things that we did, when we did a lot, but I think the 2 best things that we did was we went back to old school. We went back to asking people, just, calling people up on the phone, asking them, especially during the pandemic, we weren't able to meet as much in person. So we had to go back to the old school of, values, emails, phone calls, those things. And I would say the second thing we relied on was that roster analysis from Kiwanis International. That is a wonderful piece of, information for any club, because if you look at that roster analysis, you can, it really highlights different things in your community that you could be missing. Because like I said, there's things that we were missing in our community.
Okay, anybody else? All right, well, thank you everybody for coming, and thank you, Miranda, for sharing all your wonderful ideas to everybody, and hopefully we could bring them back to the clubs, and let's start getting ready for Membership May. That's coming up very shortly. We hopefully will get a lot of good new members in the month of May with everything that's going on. If you still need more ideas, I've been putting everything in the Pennsylvania Forum with the stuff that KI has been sending out. So if you need some more ideas, you can always look onto there. Usually Monday and Wednesdays I've been putting stuff, but this was a great presentation. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.